Yeah, our next speaker is Devendra Dohare from SGSITS Indore. He's not there? He's there.
He's not there.
No? No, but somebody said yes. Yeah, I announced and somebody responded. Anyway, then Dr. Poonam, she'll speak on methodological framework to assess environmental impact on various waste management options.
Am I audible to everybody? Okay. Knowing the feeble yeses, I think I'm not am I audible to everybody? Am I visible to everybody? Okay. Sir, there are actually two problems with my presentation. So I thought it was better to admit that in the up front. One is I love speaking. Second is I very rarely get a chance to speak uninterrupted for 10 minutes. And the third is that I have too much to say. Now, the good part is that I have a conscience. I can see from the dais that probably quite a few of you are feeling very sleepy. The lights are dimmed. You had a good lunch. So with the permission of the chairperson, I'm going to take 1 minute of my time allotted to me to do a small exercise. I'm going to request all the audience to stand up, please. Yeah. Now the people on the dais, they can keep standing. I know they've been sitting for a long time. And the people who are there on the audience side, you have to do a small exercise. You have to take a round of your table clockwise and come back to the same seat where you were sitting earlier. Please. Thank you so much. The reason I carried out this exercise was that there was a nice person who once mentioned that it is practically impossible to stay awake when you are sitting in the same position, same chair, and you're looking at the same screen, and there are people dying to, fill you up with information. And since I'm going to be there on your side tomorrow, and I was there on your side in the morning session, I thought it is my duty to actually give you that respite. So going on with the presentation, I'm going to try and finish it up in 6 minutes and leave a minute extra for each of the distinguished panel members who are going to be there after me. We all know that solid waste is a problem in India. We also know that the reason it is a problem in India is because, one, we are generating too much waste. We have a huge population. And the other is that, a lot of us know how to manage solid waste, but some of the people who are there, who are managing the solid waste, either they do not have any idea as to how to manage solid waste, or they have an idea and they actually do not know how to implement that idea. So what I'm going to be speaking about is how do we assess the environmental impacts from different solid waste management options. One of the ways to do this is that, we wait for a certain facility to be in place and we actually do the monitoring of the various emissions. Now we know that most of the scientific facilities are not existing as of now. And I want to know now as to how the facilities should be planned. How much of waste should be going where? So how do I go about assessing what is likely to be the environmental burden of a particular waste option? Now we all know that there is a hierarchy. The more I reuse, the less is the environmental burden. The more I recycle, the less is the environmental burden. But it is not possible to reuse 100%. It is not possible to recycle 100%. And we know that though only the 30% of waste should be going to the landfill, we actually have practically 60 to 70% of the waste going to the landfills. So what I have tried telling here is that there are certain impacts and there are ways to actually assess these impacts without actual monitoring of the various facilities. How many of you know about global warming? That's very encouraging. Okay, doesn't matter. It is better to be honest. Global warming is, something which is a very buzzword. It rained in Delhi a week back, and everybody said it is because of global warming. Suddenly, you feel hot during the day, and people say it is global warming. In fact, the joke was that, one day we did not have any electricity, and my son said, Mama, is it because of global warming? So everything is actually because of global warming. But actually, it is the increase in Earth's temperature because of the greenhouse gases. How many of you know what eutrophication is? Okay. It is something which we see as the green algal bloom in the surface water bodies. How many of you know what acidification potential is? Yes, I know, but sir, nobody is raising the hand. Okay. So I'm presuming everybody knows. I'm presuming everybody knows what photooxidant formation potential is. And this, I'm sure everybody knows, human toxicological potential. So what we do is that when we decide how to assess the environmental impacts, we first established a system boundary. We know what are the feasible technical options in a city. We list down those options. We demarcate a boundary. We know that these are the options for which land will be available, which are going to be technically feasible based on the waste composition. We also establish an outside boundary for inputs which are going to be there in the system, because we are going to require electricity for managing these facilities. We are going to also be generating electricity at certain places. We are going to be using diesel. So all that actually comes in the secondary boundary. Then we have to start with certain assumptions, because if we make very elaborate data requirement, one, the system is going to be very, very tedious. Second, I will actually spend a couple of years just looking for the data. So one of the assumptions which we can make is, because we are basically trying to assess, and most of the electricity production comes from fossil fuel plants, one of the assumptions could be that if I'm generating electricity, I'm actually replacing the electricity which has come from fossil fuel plants. Next is, I make a checklist of the various impacts from the various options. Now, one of the examples which I'm showing you here is for aerobic composting. I know that aerobic composting is going to consume electricity. So obviously there are, there is a potential for global warming. I also know that there are going to be certain emissions. I also know that the emissions actually correspond to various different potentials like acidification potential, eutrophication potential, and there are actually data available which says that, so much of ammonia corresponds to so much of this kind of potential. I'll come to that later. We can do this for all the possible options which we have found to be technically feasible in a particular scenario. And after that, there is literature available which will tell you that if you are using a certain kind of equipment, what is the likely consumption of fuel for that equipment. And there are several inventories available which will tell you as to how much emissions are there associated with a unit production of fuel. There are also inventories available to tell you if you are saving so much on a unit of electricity, how much emissions you are saving. So once you do that kind of an input-output analysis, and you do that for every possible option associated with that, like if you are generating leachate, you have an idea regarding the likely composition of the leachate. You know there is literature available telling you that this category of leachate is actually going to consume so much units of electricity, and so much toxic emissions are likely to be there from that. So once you are able to compile that, what you have to do is, that was the other problem, is that when I loaded the presentation here, the two last slides actually got deleted. So once you are able to identify for each option what are the possible impacts to various categories, then it is a simple case of addition and subtraction to arrive at an option which is going to be most desirable and carrying the least environmental burden. That is all I wanted to say. Thank you.
We'll take it at the end. Well, thank you. The next